What's up, YouTube's Paradeals91 here, and right now I will present to you the deck profile of my Metaion Burn, or Volcanic Burn, whichever one you want to go with. This is the deck that I used against my boy Thunder Drake in the duel against his Flamvell Golem Burn, and it was a pretty good duel. We had a second round actually. I forgot to upload it, but when I looked at it, let's just say technical difficulties were the least of my worries. So, even though the results were different, I wanted to give you guys a deck profile based on that deck. Mainly because I'm in actually need of help. I know you guys are really great at suggestions, so I wanted to present to you guys the deck profile and see what you guys can come up with. Because this deck is actually pretty good. It got me so far in burning his life points down to almost 0, and eventually in the second round 2-0. So, with that being said, let's get started. Most of you guys do not know, but the reason why I call it a Metaion Burn is because I'm running 3 Metaion the Time Lords. This is actually the main engine of the deck. It's not really an engine per se. I take that back. It's not really an engine per se, but it's more like that's the main strategy here. And I'll show you why as we go along. But yeah, you need 3 because even though it's level 10, no attack, no defense, it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and you take no damage, no battle damage actually. It returns itself back to the deck during the standby phase. Was it? Yeah. I usually don't use that effect because, well, either I attack with it and then just, yeah, I don't attack with it. Either attack with it and then use this effect, like, every once in a blue moon, but that's never really the case. And as we go along, you'll see the reason why I'm running 3. Running 3 Volcanic Slicers. It's a stall deck actually as well. With this guy, you can burn 500 of your opponent's life points, kind of at the cost of him not being able to attack. It's okay. You only need to burn 500 for the time being. No need to go into more details on that. Because you're going to be burning a whole lot of damage to your opponent's life points via effect damage, it's mandatory to run 3 Achacha Archers. Because once you inflict effect damage, he's automatically special summoned, and you inflict an extra 400 to the face. Talk about adding insult to injury. Yeah, even though his attack is pretty weak, it doesn't really matter. You're just going to be burning life points anyway. Also, if you have 2 in the hand, you can easily go for an instant exceed. Running 2 Laval Magma Cannoneers, it's really good in this deck actually, because we're running a lot of fire monsters. And with him being, with him just being at 2, it's okay. Because I was running him at 3, it was getting really cloggy. Like, I didn't need him at 3. Like, 2 was good enough. With his effect, it's actually really, really simple. In fact, you can just send away any one of these monsters, whether you need them or not. You can just send them to the graveyard. Up to twice per turn, you can just inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. And he's really in great combination with these guys here, my 3 Volcanic Scatter Shots. When this guy is sent to the graveyard by any means necessary, your opponent takes 500. And with this guy, it's just an extra 500 to the face. Again, insult to injury. Much like Thunder Drake, we're running 2 Lava Golems. I think he's running 3, I'm not sure, but I'm running 2. 2 seems to be doing okay. I rarely use him on my opponent, but it sucks when they use Bottomless on the damn thing, because you're using up so many resources. You're using up like, okay, I'm gonna get you. Like, I summon this guy, and you summon the golem, I end my turn, you take 1,000. Oh no, Bottomless. Ah, screw you then. But yeah, 2 seems to be doing okay. It's great. Like, I seem to be running a lot of monsters in 2s because, well, it's 2s. Like, you don't really need to go for 3s in this case. Sometimes it's just a dead draw. One of the main staples in a deck like this is a Dark Room of Nightmare. For every effect damage you inflict to your opponent, they take an extra 300. So yeah, it's not all about just inflicting whatever you can. It's about inflicting a whole lot more. Like with this, especially with the Achacha Archer and yeah, the Laval Magma Cannoneer along with the Scatter Shots. It's just adding more damage. You can easily quickly burn their life points down. 3 Tremendous Fires. Everybody who has a burn deck seems to be using this at 3. I can see why. Even though it takes 500 off of you, it takes double of that amount off of your opponent. It's a common staple in burn decks, and it's just good. It's 1,000. I mean, if the deck wasn't so much lenient on 3 copies of each, or if the game itself wasn't so lenient on just 3 copies of each, you can just add an 8 and automatically that'd be GG. Even though that's not the case, we're using 2 Meteor of Destructions. The only drawback to this is if your opponent has 3,000 or less life points, you cannot activate it. But that seems to be okay, because with the 2 that I have now, I seem to be drawing it at the perfect time. Only take 1,000 off your life points anyway, so yeah. Again, it's also a stall deck because it doesn't revolve around attacking. You're running 2 Nightmare Steel Cage, because you really don't want your opponent to attack. You don't need to attack at all, because you just, like my Empty Jar, you're only focusing on one kind of winning element here. And these 2 seem to be doing okay with it. But if you do want to attack, you still have your own protection with Swords of Revealing Light. Your opponent can't attack your monsters, so what more? What more can be said about this? The last 2 spells is Star Changer and Dark Hole. Like, I'll show you the reason why I'm running Dark Hole in here, but let me go into Star Changer in a little bit. Star Changer, like, because it's I use Exceeds in this deck, and since I'm running quite the number of level 4s, I seem to be using Star Changer either on Achacha Archer to make him level 4, or Laval Magma Cannoneer or Volcanic Slicer to make it level 3. I really didn't know why I didn't use this in the first place. I just teched it in there when I faced Thunder Drake. And it seems to be helping out a lot. Now, this is the reason why I'm running Metaion, because it's a rank 10 engine in a way. Again, you can call it an engine, but you don't really need to refer to it as that or such, or consider it as such. The Metal Reflect Slime. It's a trap monster, 3,000 defense. You can easily use it for an Exceed summon. And I'm running quite a few rank 10s in here, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I just gave it away. So with these 3, it really does help out. Even if I don't have Metaion out on the field, I can just use either one of the 2 of them to overlay for a rank 10. And it has 3,000 defense. What more do you need to know? Yeah, I love this card. I love it. 3 Just Desserts. Because it's Just Desserts. You're taking 500 off your opponent for every monster they have. So, oh, you wanna keep swarming the field? Like, okay, fine. Like, here you go. They have some. Here's your Just Desserts. How's the heat? The reason I'm running Dark Hole, Ojama Trio. No more than 2. 2 is okay, and does clog your opponent's field. Like, oh my god, I can't do anything. Well, I can think of a few things. But yeah, that was actually courtesy of Thunder Drake. He's actually the reason why I put 2 of them in here in the first place. Because we're in need of draw power, and this is the reason why we had technical difficulties in the other video, was Reckless Greed. Now, normally I would, after activating this, I would put this on the top of the deck just to remind me that, oh, I can't draw. But again, this deck is in serious need of draw power. Like, I did have Pot of Duality in here, but that really contradicted everything that the deck went for. So yeah, Reckless Greed is okay. Reckless Greed is actually better than Pot of Duality in this case. You draw 2 cards, but it doesn't matter that you give up 2 of your draw phases, because it's, yeah, it doesn't need to go into more detail than that. Ceasefire, the reason why it's at 1 is the reason that's more than obvious. You're taking 500 off your opponent for every effect monster there, so yeah, that does not need to go into 2s or 3s. Leave it at 1. And call the Haunted. Just a reborn stuff. You never know when you're gonna need him again. Especially Metaion, because you know he's nearly indestructible. Now for the extra deck, one of the reasons why I'm running Star Changer in here is because of this guy. Grinosaurus, like, yeah, he's pretty weak. He doesn't see that much play nowadays, but it's 2 level 3s, and he's really easy to get out. That and the fact that with what you're running in here, it's easy to attack your opponent when case need be, because, you know, the deck doesn't really need to attack so much. But when it does, you take 1,000 off your opponent when you successfully destroy a monster in battle. 1 Gaga Cowboy, again, 2 level 4s. I have a lot of level 4s in here, and relatively easy to bring him out. I don't use his first effect. I just use a little burn effect, and he's got 24 defense, so it's really easy just to leave him in defense, and he can survive like at least maybe the first or second turn as well. My favorite card in this deck, to Black Ship of Corn. What more do I need to say? He's 21 attack, and I've used it against Thunderdrake. I've used it against a lot of people as well, and, well, again, like Cowboy, it's relatively easy to get out. And his effect, it doesn't even have to be activated anyway. Mainly because he's kind of weak in attack sometimes, but when I do, there goes 1,000. Yeah. The main reason why I'm running 3 Metaions and 3 metallic metal reflex slimes is 2 super dreadnought railroad cannons. Gustav Maxes. My god, this guy has a long name. Yeah, just 2 level 10s, 3,000 attack, 3,000 defense. Detach, your opponent takes 2,000. The reason why I put them in here. This is the reason why I wanted to make this deck in this build. Because of him. He is the king. He's the king. I love him to death. I just could not wait for him to come out. And when he finally did, I use it. I abuse it. Sometimes when I can't go to it, which is almost never, but when I don't, when I just can't afford to, I use 2 of these guys. Sky Palace Gangardias. Yeah, is that how you pronounce it? Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, with these 2 guys, it's the same effect, except you get a little bit more bang for your buck, no pun intended. You detach 1, you destroy a monster your opponent controls, or a card. I think, yeah, you pop 1 from your opponent's side of the field. They take 1,000, he cannot attack. That's good enough for me. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Go ahead and give it a like, subscribe. Be sure to comment as well. I would love to hear your suggestions if you guys have any. I'm always open for it. I will be more than happy to play test it and come back to you guys with the results and a new deck profile just to show you guys how things have been going along. So be sure to leave your comments below. Again, if you have any more suggestions, I would love to hear them. This is Paradios91, and it's lights out.